All right, so we're just going to go over the purpose of the informed decision, some pay entitlement stuff, military versus civilian, medical, some benefits that we have, things to consider, and then some closing thoughts. All right, so the purpose of the informed decision, seminar is educational experience specifically designed to enhance one's knowledge of Air Force benefits. It's not to try to get you to stay or tell you that you have to stay. It's just give you some information and you guys make the best decision for you. It's for first term and second term airmen, 12 to 15 months prior to date of separation. I still get a lot of people asking why do they have to do an informed decision if they've been to TAPS, if they already have a job. Well, the reason we have to do it is because the AFI says we have to do it. So that's the excuse, and they don't really have anything to say after that. Pay and entitlements. So how many of you do not know how much you make on an hourly rate? Hourly, yes. I mean, everybody knows what their LES says, but how many of you know how much you make on an hourly rate? Because it's going to be important when you cross over into the civilian sector. They do things on an hourly wage as opposed to salary. Some places may still do salary, but it's good for you to know, because we get a lot of people that decide to get out of the military because they feel they're not making enough money, and then they go on the outside and get a job where they were making less than they were making in the military. So we broke it down for some of you. This includes BAH and BAS. As we know, hopefully everyone knows about your benefits compensation plan that's on the portal. It tells you pretty much how much you make, and then it also does the taxable and non-taxable. Just some good GWA's information. And then annual leave, everyone knows we get 2.5 days a month, 30 days each fiscal year. Then we get the 10 paid federal holidays and family days. Kind of not that good that 4th of July falls on a Wednesday this year, because we'll only get that Wednesday, but hopefully, leadership will find it in and give us another day. But if you start a job on the outside, how much vacation time do you get starting off? 0. Most places, you may have to do a probationary period before you can get the 2 weeks or however long their program is. This is just a visual of the unemployment rate in America. The dark sections are the highest, 5%, California, Alaska. Has anyone seen this website before? ONET? Yes. I went through TAPS last week. I think it was last week. And this was the first time I actually went on there and navigated through it. It's a great website. If you haven't been to TAPS, you'll get to go through the website when you're in TAPS. But it tells you how your current job translates into the civilian market, and then it tells you how much you can get paid. It also tells you where jobs are in whatever career field you're in. So what you do is you go on, you click on crosswalks, put in your AFSC, and then it brings up jobs that correlate to what you do. This one happened to be an aircraft mechanic, because we get a lot of aircraft mechanics that want to come in and either retrain, or they'll say, I'm either retrained or I'm getting out. So then it goes through a summary, tells you things that you've learned in the job, but really everyone wants to just know how much they can make. So this one is the median wage, $28.93 an hour, 60 annual. And then it breaks down also with the United States is in blue and then Nevada's in red. So in this one for Nevada, 91,000 was the high, and then 87,000 for the United States. And then there's other links on there where you can click and it says find job, and you can put in whatever zip code you're going to live in if you're not going to be in Nevada, and it'll tell you the jobs that are available in that area as well. It's a very good website. All right, so for medical benefits, we all know we have to have health insurance, but this slide in particular, when I was redoing the slideshow, I was like, man, nobody's going to stay in the military because of how much it costs to have a baby. So I took the slide out. And my counterparts who were women, they were like, nah, people are going to, I was like, all right, so I put it back. Then in my first informed decision afterwards, I asked people in the audience, it was at Creech, and I was like, so why are you standing? He was like, because it costs too much to have kids. I was like, God darn. I was like, prove them right. But it is very expensive to have kids on the outside. Yeah, the numbers are astronomical. So I can just imagine folks that having C-sections, it's not that great. But we also did some health insurance quotes. This is kind of on the low end, but this is for a male, 24 years of age, non-smoker, lives in Vegas. They pay a monthly cost of $127. Not that much. They have a hospital pay. They pay $3,000 a day. But to me, what most people, they go and get insurance. They get the lowest insurance, so they don't. But until something goes wrong, and then they realize they didn't have enough insurance. But you know, on the here's another one, health insurance quote based on 24-year-old male, 24-year-old wife. They have 2 kids, 3 and 5 in Vegas. Everything's the same. They just paying a higher monthly cost, $373 a month. But as I said, these are on the low end. Some more benefits that we have. Have anyone traveled space available before? Yes. I was stationed at Yokota, my first base, when I first heard about the space available travel. I got off work. At lunchtime. I went to the terminal, and I was like, "Do you have any flights going to LA?" They had a flight going that day at like 18:30. So I went back to work, signed up for leave. My boss let me go on leave. I went and got on a plane, came back from Japan to LA, and it cost me $3.75, which was the cost of the meal, the box lunch that they give you. And then we didn't even fly on the military airplane. We flew on the commercial airplane. But I know my counterparts aren't on. She went, her husband, and her 2 kids flew from here to Jersey commercial, and then they flew from Jersey to Mildenhall on a military flight, and then they went back from Mildenhall to Travis, got up through the military flight, and then paid commercial to come from Travis to here, and it saved them, I think it was $6,000 that it was going to cost if they flew to England commercial. It only ended up costing them $1,000 for all 4 of them, so she saved a good $5,000. So look into space available travel. I know we don't have a major passenger terminal here, but they have information. Most of the passenger terminals now have Facebook pages. I know Ramstein, they have a Facebook page that I go to see when they have flights going into Ramstein, as well as BWI. We also have the Child Development Center, accredited by National Academy of Early Childhood. It's based on the family fees, the income of the family. So sometimes you may come out cheaper going to the CDC, but I hear their space right now is not that, they don't have enough providers, so it's hard. The waiting list is kind of long. Some other things to consider is commissioning, if not retraining, and also DSD. Please get familiar on the DSD program if you decide to stay in, because it is also career impacting. If you turn down the DSD assignment, you will be separated on your date of separation. So just make sure that you talk to your leadership when they're talking about vectoring you into something that fits you or your lifestyle. We don't want single parents with children trying to be MTIs, because that it may not be advantageous for that family. So then we also have the Equal Plus assignments you can look at, and don't forget the Guard and Reserve. Today we'll have the Reserve come in to talk to you, Reserve recruiter. Guard recruiter won't be able to make it. And then big thing is just make a plan and stick to your plan. TAPS is congressionally mandated. You can start the process as early as a year prior to separation. They give you a lot of information. I know I'm not retiring yet, but I plan on taking it again, because the first time you go through, the information they give is so much that you're trying to wrap your head around it, and then the second time you go through, you'll be more ready and focused on getting, the resume writing, how to interview, things of that nature. They teach a lot of that in the TAPS program. So make sure you can sign up through the Airman Family Readiness. And then also Mr. Ben Jefferson, he is the VA claims rep. If you contact him, He can give you the information and the documents that you'll need to file your VA claim. You can do that up to 6 months prior to your separating from the Air Force.